My granddaughter used to hold my hand everywhere we went. Her tiny fingers would wrap around mine, and she'd look up at me with so much love. But last week, she looked me straight in the eyes and said words that shattered my world. "Grandma, you're useless now. You can't even take care of yourself." I didn't argue with her. I didn't even cry. Instead, I disappeared for 7 days. And when I finally returned, my granddaughter was a completely different person. Let me start from the beginning. I live with my son and his daughter, Lily. My son, a single father, works incredibly long hours, which means I spend most of my days with Lily. I practically raised her. She used to be my shadow, my little helper in the kitchen, the one who'd listen to my stories for hours. But then, she became a teenager, and suddenly, everything I did, every little thing, seemed to embarrass her. My slow walk, my old-fashioned clothes, even the way I spoke. That fateful morning started like any other. I was trying to get a glass of water from the cabinet. My hands, stiff and shaky from arthritis, fumbled. The glass slipped from my grasp and shattered on the kitchen floor. Before I could even react, Lily stormed in. "Grandma, you always mess things up. Can't you do anything right?" Her voice was sharp, filled with a frustration that felt like pure anger. The sound of the breaking glass was nothing compared to the sound of her words breaking my heart. They cut deeper than any physical wound ever could. I spent the rest of the day cleaning up, my movements slow and deliberate, trying to stay out of her way. That evening I decided to make her favorite meal, a recipe passed down from my own mother. I cooked slowly, pouring all my love and care into the dish, hoping it might bridge the growing distance between us. When I served dinner, the aroma filled the house, a smell that used to make her run to the table with excitement. But this time, Lily just poked at her food with a fork. She barely took a bite. Then, she looked at her dad, and in a voice loud enough for the entire neighborhood to hear, she said, "Dad, why do we always have to take care of Grandma? She's basically useless." Useless. The word hung in the air, heavy and suffocating. My son immediately tried to shush her, his face turning red with embarrassment and anger. "Lily, that's enough. Apologize to your grandma right now." But the damage was done. I had already heard it. It wasn't just a teenager's outburst. It was what she truly believed. In that moment, something inside me just broke. I felt a profound sense of worthlessness wash over me. I wasn't a grandmother anymore. I was a burden, a thing to be taken care of. That night I couldn't sleep. Her word, useless, echoed in my mind. I looked at my wrinkled hands, the hands that had rocked her to sleep, wiped her tears, and applauded her every small achievement. Were these hands truly useless now? I quietly got out of bed and packed a small bag, a few changes of clothes, my medication, and an old, faded photograph of a 5-year-old Lily, her arms wrapped tightly around my neck, a huge grin on her face. I wrote a short, simple note and left it on the kitchen counter. "I am going to stay with a friend for a few days. Don't worry." And then, before the sun had a chance to rise, I slipped out the front door and left. I went to stay with my oldest friend, Martha. We've known each other since we were girls, and she has a way of understanding things without me needing to say much. Her home was quiet, peaceful. For the first time in years, I slept through the night without the heavy feeling of being a burden on my chest. Martha and I spent the days talking, cooking together, at our own pace, and laughing about old memories. It felt good to laugh again, To feel like myself, not just someone's useless grandma. We reminisced about our youth, our husbands, our children. It was a balm for my wounded soul. But even in Martha's comforting presence, a part of me was back home. I missed my granddaughter terribly. I wondered if she even noticed I was gone. Did she feel relieved? Was the house finally less messy, less embarrassing for her? The thought was a painful stab in my heart. I prayed she was okay. I prayed she was happy. On the 5th night of my absence, a massive storm rolled into town. The wind howled like a mournful wolf, and rain lashed against the windows. The power went out, plunging the entire neighborhood into darkness. Trees were uprooted, blocking roads and cutting us off. It was then that my phone, which had been silent for days, began to ring non-stop. It was my son. I answered, and his voice was frantic, filled with a panic I had not heard since Lily was a baby and had a high fever. "Mom, Mom, where are you? Are you safe?" he shouted over the sound of the storm. "We've been so worried. Lily." Mom, Lily hasn't eaten properly in days. She just sits in your room, holding that old photo. She cries every single night. She's terrified something has happened to you because of what she said. My own heart trembled, a mix of relief and sorrow. She did notice. She did care. Through the static of the phone line, I could almost hear the desperation in my son's voice, turning into a plea. He continued, "She keeps saying she's sorry, Mom. She needs you. I need you. The house is empty without you. We can't do this without you." My own eyes welled up with tears, but I kept my voice calm and steady. "I'm safe, son. Don't worry. I'll come home soon." As soon as the storm passed and the roads were clear, I made my way back. The moment I walked through the door, a small figure shot out from the living room and crashed into me. It was Lily, her arms wrapped around my waist, holding on so tightly, as if she was afraid I'd disappear again. She was sobbing, her whole body shaking. "Grandma, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please don't ever leave again. You're not useless. You're everything. I was so scared. I love you." I held her close, stroking her hair just like I did when she was little. My own tears finally fell, washing away the hurt, the pain, the feeling of being worthless. In that moment, holding my granddaughter, I wasn't just a burden to be cared for. I was a grandma who was loved, who was needed, who was home. Sometimes it takes a little distance for people to see what's been right in front of them all along. And sometimes the most powerful lessons are learned in the silence of someone's absence. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've ever felt unseen or unappreciated, remember your worth is not defined by others. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more stories that touch the heart. See you next time.